Other interesting business news, you have Lucid having the CEO. He was the highest paid CEO in 2022, which is pretty much unheard of in the automotive community. You could debate, since it's an EV car company, is it more of a tech company or a car company? It's a constant debate I have with my friends and colleagues around talking about Tesla. But with Lucid in particular, they're a premium EV manufacturer. I believe they start around $85,000 now that they've discounted it, with their highest price being $250,000 for something called the Blue Sapphire Banana Falcon. That's probably close enough to the whole name, and unfortunately from their marketing department, all the cars look about the same. Enthusiasts will argue to the red in the face that, oh yeah, the $250,000, that's the fastest, best one. Well, great, it looks about the same as the $85,000 one, so F for marketing in that regard, similar to the Chevy SS. But I digress. In terms of pay, and you look at CEO's compensation, traditionally it's usually Oracle with their CEO Larry Ellison. He's usually the most paid CEO kind of year over year. And Lucid is not doing great, which is why I think a lot of people are surprised that the CEO is receiving a high compensation package, but the company isn't doing phenomenal. So as of this recording, Lucid is trading right now for $6.30 per share, which for most companies that's terrible. Like look at the S&P 500. Like in the past, what's their 5-year trend? They've lost 36%. The past 1 year, they've lost 56.91% of their stock value in 1 year. That is, and he's still getting paid. Again, this is total compensation, $379 million. Now, in terms of the breakdown, his base is quote unquote, well, depending on, it's a sliding scale, it's relative. His base is $575,000. Now, granted, if he lives in California, that's like $13 after taxes, but his base salary is $575K. Now, you might realize, wait a minute, that's a lot smaller than $379 million. Well, yes, it's because it's stock. So it's a little deceiving what everyone is complaining about in terms of he's getting this big comp package. Well, a lot of it is stock, and there's a lot of debate on compensation with CEOs and executives and even entry-level employees. Do you give them stock to give them an extra incentive to hustle harder because they have more of literally a stake in the company's success? And maybe they're thinking this company's gone downhill so much, we give him all the incentive in the world to turn around. We're literally giving him 379 million minus 575K in stock. He has a lot of incentive to turn the company around, literally hundreds of millions of dollars of incentive. Now, that was down 56.91% in the past year. If you go to year to date, they've actually increased by 2.03%. So not that great. You look at the past, 1 month, they're down to 1.79%. Past 5 days, they're up 2%. So it's stock is fluctuating back and forth, but seems to still hover around about $6 to $8 per share. Now you look at Tesla for one share, that's $257.45. Now granted, of course, the stock market is very fluid. It's going to vary by the time you even listen to this, but that's a big price delta. Now, in terms of his base and his total compensation, it looks like people are complaining that he had a stock gains of $5.5 million, which, again, stock gains just mean it means you did a good job. The stock went up, so I would think you'd want that. Now, it looks like the stock, specifically the stocks and awards, strip away the base salary, it's $928,375. Now, a lot of people are also kind of comparing these two numbers. Well, Lucid's revenue last year was $608 million, and this guy's getting paid about a little more than half of that at $379 million. So a lot of people are wondering how is this adding up. But again, they're not paying him that cash. That's all stock. But then you have to also ask yourself, is this a CEO that can turn the company around, that can do a better job? Because right now the numbers are not looking good. And you look at all the headlines, and of course they're all lambasting and roasting him. And I mean, let's see, carscoops.com had a pretty good headline. So Lucid CEO was paid $380 million last year, 11 times more than GM's CEO, which is GM. You can't compare. They're an old legacy automotive company. Lucid, most of these EV companies, just based on their business model, they're going to be a lot more profitable. They also don't have to worry about the unions with the United Auto Workers, which right now is estimated to cost the big three, GM, Chrysler, Ford, $80 billion over the life of the contract of the 4 years. That's if they sign the contract today, as they have negotiations currently ongoing. But yeah, it is pretty crazy to see that much of a compensation. Now, will the shareholders really care? If you can't turn their stock around, I'm pretty sure they will. But again, if that's what the shareholders are happy with and the CEO is able to keep things going in the right direction, I don't see anyone being upset long term, though it is pretty good headline news. Thank you again for taking the time to tune in. Try and get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. I know it's a tall order, but if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you take the time to like and comment, the feedback is also appreciated. Try to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.